We have Heraldic. Discard a Heraldic to special summon. Super heavy Heraldic Aratama versus Triple D. Triple D with no hand traps whatsoever. Begin.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Samurai, wagon it up, changes battle position to search our deck for a booster. What is this? A rank 4 Xyz if you want. It just gets another level 4 in the field alongside your level 4. 2 level 4s for the Allenberts. You thought this was a super heavy Samurai deck. We're just teching it in for a 1-card rank 4 Xyz as we search our deck for a circular. Is this a 60-card deck? What the heck? Sending Nambla from the deck to the graveyard. Nambla reborning, triggering the circular, searching for a super factorial. With the Sargass, it states that if a material is detached from a monster, you now get to target a card in the field and destroy it or return it to the hand. That would be something like your Utopic Draco negating a monster, which would then trigger the Gigantic Sargass to pop another card. So that's 2 disruption and negate plus a pop. And then with the Xyz Armor Fortress, we can go with the full Armored Xyz play, which will eventually whip out, yes, there it is, the Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer will then be able to suck up a monster on the field. And then what we have here is the Super Factorial. This is insane, as it's going to be an Omni Negate as we reborn 3 Math Mechs from the graveyard. We have to have room to summon 3 from the grave. So yeah, I don't think we're really, this is why we put the Sargass in the extra monster zone. That's perfect. And then it's going to be an Omni Negate plus send a card from the field, hand, and even from the back row, or in addition to a monster to the graveyard. So that's about 5 disruption Triple D has to play through. Let's go. And an Ash Blossom, because why not? We're going to be activating Swirl Slime, Fusion Summoning into the Flame King Genghis with the main ability of reborning from the graveyard. Swirl Slime's going to banish to summon a monster from the hand. On summon, search our deck. Chain Link block with the King Genghis. Now, you can't Ash Blossom the Kepler. The Kepler may be searching for another card that you can actually Ash Blossom. That is the card you would Ash instead. As we Dark Contract to the gate, instead of waiting for the activation of the effect to then Ash it, let's just send it to the graveyard right here, right now. Let's gain maximum value out of our Math Mech Super Factorial play. As we're going to send a monster, a back row, and a card from the hand to the graveyard and still have a negate on top of that. Trigger the effect, just like that, detach 3, 1, 2, and 3. Great. Sargass triggering, return back to the action. We're now down to 4 disruption. Corpinicus is attempting to send a card from the deck to the graveyard. We're going to Ash negate that, and now we're going to be setting up with our other disruption here as we go into our Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer will be able to suck up a monster if anything proves to be a problem here. As we now make a Gilgamesh. With Gilgamesh, we activate to set up 2 Pendulum Scales, but we have the UDF to negate and take control of that Gilgamesh. It's mine. And on top of that, we still have the Dark Knight Lancer playing. We're going to Slime, Fuse with the graveyard. How's Triple D still cooking through all this disruption? Well, now they're not. Equip, trigger, yoink. Now we're done. But yeah, we're both done. You're done, I'm done. It is over. Frost Dracony with the 60-card mishmash of everything. This started with a Samurai wagon. Damn. Damn. There was a popular Reddit post that said, decks like this is the real problem of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you could put in so many engines into one deck because you disrupt one, then they whip out the other 3 engines. Nightmare Throne, you thought this was a Yubel card. You thought wrong. The problem here is after we search that Kepler, which wants to desperately search another card, but can't do so. Why? Droll and Lockbird. We're going to still use the Slime Diffusion Summon from the hand. Droll states that for the rest of the turn, neither player can add from the deck to the hand. That also stops a card like Max C. We're going to banish Slime from the grave, summon from the hand, trigger the King Genghis, reborn from the grave, as we further turn this into a Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh will set up double Pendulum Scale, and now we Pendulum Summon. Will the Max C be coming out? Probably not. We're going to be summoning the Kepler as we return back the Savant Thomas, as we then use the Divine Zero to special summon the Thomas. Thomas summoned from the deck. We're making a lot of plays despite being under Droll and Lockbird. What's going on here? What are our plays? Our plays are, this is going to be able to suck up a monster by destroying a Dark Contract, which I don't think we could actually do. So it's actually no disruption. It has to have 2 materials or destroy a Dark Contract, so it's actually no suck. And then, do any of these trigger? Once per turn, tribute, no. I don't think Thomas triggers anything. I don't think this is any disruption. We do have Max C. I don't think full Armored Exceeds could turn into a form of disruption. Can you full Armored Exceeds over the Machine X and do another Machine X? And double Machine X, now you get to get sucking, possibly, maybe. Full Armored Exceeds to make Kali Yuga. Ooh, we're doing a Kali Yuga play? Okay, let's do it. What are the restrictions on Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga states that we're just going to be summoning this over. If an Exceeds on the field, okay, let's just do it. Let's do it. We have 2 8s for the Kali Yuga. The normal way to summon Kali Yuga. It is a triple D, by the way. I mean, you're supposed to be summoning in triple D. 2 level 8 double D monsters, the way we normally never summon it. So that's going to shut down their entire turn. That's huge. Let's do it. Get Exceed summoning to the Kali Yuga full turn Floodgate. How much of a floodgate is this? It is applying the effect, not activating the effect of, for the rest of this turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field. And other cards on the field are also negated. And then, during the end phase, generally, you're gonna detach a material, destroy all back row cards in the field. So they set a bunch of floodgates, I don't think so, wipe them out. Well, it's good. Saki Tama. Now, I thought nothing could activate. Well, activate from the hand is different than activating on the field. Same thing as activating an effect from the graveyard. That would be fine. As we now make a Heraldry, okay, we could turn this into a Zeus to be used on the next turn. We can't use it right now, but now we can. What? It's an unimpeded Zeus. There's nothing stopping it. The Kali Yuga has been outed by simply making a Zeus. That's crazy. As we now make an Exceed the Pendulum, as we grab a face-up Pendulum to our hand, as we now get Zeused at the start of the battle phase, wipe the field. Wow. What is this thing doing? If this card sends to the graveyard, you could send 2 Heraldic Beast monsters from your deck to the graveyard. This is a Heraldic Beast card. I've never used it that way, and I've used this many times. What the heck? We're going to be searching for a Dark Contract, which, again, the Droll and Lockbird is going to completely thwart that play. As soon as we want to search another card, Droll locking us down 2 turns in a row. Now, you may have been drolling me. I'm going to Max C you. While Max C is pretty damn good, we are quite susceptible to a 1-turn kill here. All they got to do is set up 7,000 damage. The Kepler's blocking nothing. We have nothing activatable in the graveyard. What could we even draw into? Maybe a Nibiru would be good, but the Regulus could now negate Nibiru. And if we have an Imperm plus the Nibiru, the Kepler is blocking that impermanence. And just like that, 7,800 damage, mate. Lethal damage. Outing a Kali Yuga is impressive and definitely something to be proud of. Good job to Heraldic Beast, Math Mech, Super Heavy Samurai. Yes. Jungle Man, thank you also. Appreciate you. Starting this off, going first with Tenpai Genroku into the Pydra, setting up the Sangan Summoning. Sangan Summoning, searching our deck for the Chandra. We are already committed to our normal summon, but Chandra is special summoning as we now Bident Reborn from the graveyard to now make our Heraldic Seal pass. Spin a face-up card back. Now, this is great against the Huli. The Huli makes your cards untargetable, and we just spin her back. Dogmatica Ecclesia. If there's an extra deck monster on the field, we can special summon for free. It's not just a Mikanko deck. It is Dogmatica Mikanko. The Dogmatica Matrix is going to be spun back to the hand, which on activation, it could have searched for a Dogmatica Ritual. And if the opponent controls a monster, you could add another card in addition. This is doing a lot of things. It's going to search for 2 cards, and then you are going to be able to send a monster from the extra deck to the graveyard, but you can only activate 1 per turn. And that's not the effect, that's the activation of the card. So it being spun back on the activation was absolutely perfect. Let's now triple tactics thrust into the Ash Blossom negate. Now, we could have Ash Blossom negated the Matrix. The problem with negating that is it would then still be able to use the other effect. So instead, using the Heraldic Seal to get rid of the card completely, getting out of its 2 effects, we then save the Ash for the follow-up thrust, which could have added a spell from the deck to our hand. Let's now Ohime, another card that is pretty good for ashing. We're going to be discarding the Hugh Lee. Activate the ceremony that we searched for to special summon the Ohime. Now the ceremony could send a Mikanko card from the deck to the grave. Mikanko Dance would be the card. There it is, to now reborn the Hugh Lee. We have DD Crow to banish that fool. I don't think so. Very nicely done. What is going on here? We are going to be attempting to banish the Hugh Lee. We're going to chain equip the Mikanko Dance here, which, sure, that doesn't do anything, as we now set up the Angelic Ring. Angelic Ring will negate the effect of a spell card that, or effect that resolves. So even if they activate the Sanguine Summoning, it will be negating that. We're now, by battling with the Mikanko Dance, we have the damage step effect. At the end of the damage step, you can target 1 card in the field and return it to the hand. Being your own card if you want to. Now, I don't even know what this card is. What the heck is this? Heavenly Gate of the Mikanko. Well, you control a monster that's equipped with an equipped card. Your opponent, all monsters your opponent control that can attack must attack. And if your Mikanko battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Interesting. So we completely shut off the Chundra. Swing in a Chundra. Chundra cannot summon from the deck due to the field spell. But now that you're not attacking, so what this was, I would like to end the battle phase. Okay, before you end the battle phase, I'm going to Biden Dragon. Biden activate Reborn the Fadra. Fadra on summon. We're going to just activate 2 Synchro, making the Transcendent Dragon. Sure, we already attacked. Now back to you. How do we deal with the Ohime? The Ohime cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect and reflects damage. And if you battle into it, can you not activate? If your Mikanko monster battles. So when you swing into it, you also cannot activate anything. Sure. Sanguine Summoning, searching for a Chundra, discarding that impermanence. Normal summon the Genroku, special summon the Chundra. Ohime is going to equip the Angelic Ring. Was this late to equip or what? This effect is not a main phase only effect. It's quick effect whenever you want. It could have been in the draw phase, equip the Angelic Ring, and then the Sanguine Summoning would have been negated. As we now summon a Pydra from the deck, searching for the Kaiman, but we will be able to negate that Kaiman if they do not out our Ohime. So we're going to Black Rose Dragon, wipe out the entire field. The Ohime is protected. Kaiman in the battle phase, grab the Chundra, summon the Chundra. If we attack 3 times from the graveyard, the Bidens and the Transcendent Dragon will be coming. So we have attacked twice so far. We just need a 3rd attack and get ready for the Q-Belt. Q-Belt on summon will destroy the Ohime and give us that 3rd attack. On that 3rd attack, we can now summon Transcendent and the Bident. That's going to be 3k damage in addition to 2600 more, thus lethal damage. 1-0. The first opportunity Tenpai had to attack, they won the game. If you lose with Mikanko and you're playing against Tenpai, we lost. We don't choose to go first. We want to go second. Even the Dogmatica Matrix, it's a go second card. It gains the additional search if they control a monster. Let's see what they can do. They cannot make a turn 1 Heraldic Seal, but now the Dogmatica Matrix will not be as effective as it will only search for 1 card instead of 2. We now got Hugh Lee link off into the Almirage. We want to get Almirage in the graveyard. By getting into the graveyard, we can now Dogmatica Maximus, banish from the grave. How does he know? How does he know it's a Dogmatica deck? There you go. Nicely done. A lot of people would have not been doing that. They're very smart doggy understanding how Dogmatica works. We just knew that Maximus was possibly in the hand. As we now have the Ecclesia, special summoning to search our deck for the Dogmatica Calamity, which is going to ritual summon the Zoa. Are you ready for the Zoa? How crazy good is Zoa? First, we're going to DD Crow, banish the Lulu Walla Lilith from the graveyard, Dogmatica Matrix. We're going to send to the graveyard an Entis. Pop in the Forbidden Droplet. Droplet is now going to negate the Zoa, which would force the opponent to send 7 extra deck monsters to the graveyard. Now, you may be thinking that sending a Bident and a Transcendent Dragon to the grave is a bad idea, but they were not properly summoned. They would not be rebornable. The Albazoa does have an additional effect that we should be focusing on, and that is all of your Dogmatica monsters, it is a Dogmatica itself, is unaffected by the activate effects of Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and Link. So how do we deal with the Albazoa? I think one of the main ways to deal with this will have to be pop the Sangan Summoning, but boost to 6,000 attack to take out the Albazoa. We have now sent 2 extra cards to the graveyard for both players. This Bident Dragon Engrave, of course, will not be rebornable. We sent a Garura and the Herald of Arc Light. That's going to be a nice draw too. What are we doing? Kaiju slumbering our own field? We're destroying our field to give a Kaiju to them. Okay. As we know, Ohime, search our deck for the Ceremony. Getting rid of the Sphere Mode Raw, as we now Ceremony special summon the Ohime onto the field. Now, the Ceremony, we could send a Mikanko card from the deck to the grave by banishing itself to send a Mikanko Water. We're going to equip the Mikanko Water onto our own Kaiju, return our Kaiju back to summon a Ha-Ray from the deck, triggering the effect to grab a Mikanko Dance, activate the Mikanko Dance onto the Ha-Ray, re-summon our Kaiju. This is a one-turn kill. We have 3,300 Reflect, 3,300 Reflect, and then how do we 3,300 for game? Return the Kaiju back to the hand after dealing 6,600 damage, Kaiju direct damage, lethal. OTK in style. One turn kill in style. That is what Mikanko will be providing. Very nicely done. Kaiju slumbering your own field for lethal damage. I think Mikanko, at least this version, may still be able to set up a good turn 1. Which, no. Nothing. No. Turn 2, turn 2. Kind of turn 2, it could equip onto the opponent's monster if you're desperate. Ceremony summons from the hand. Holy moly. That really sucks. I can't believe it. And that's what's crazy good about Tenpai is their turn 1 isn't that bad. Setting up the Heraldic Seal is quite good, actually, in many cases. And there we go. Easy lethal damage. Giovanni being a good sport about it, allowing them to have their full lethal. And Doggy also being good by ensuring to not prolong the duel. Lethal damage, making sure to have the Meteor Burst in case they have some kind of weird hand trap in play. Let's take this into another match.